So this is all of these students. Now this is only part of the team, and there will be different students sharing for third service. If you'd like to come back in and hear from them, also different perspectives. And then on Wednesday night we'll have a different set of students also because it was a rather large team. And so, what I'm going to have them do is start by introducing themselves and telling us if this was your first trip, and if not, how many, which trip is this? So, introducing your name, telling us your name, and then telling us which trip this is for you. Okay?
I'm Jazzy, and this is my third Mexico trip with high school.
My name's Joe, and this is my third missions trip.
I'm Zach, and this is my first missions trip.
I'm Haley. This is my second mission trip. I'm Hannah, and this is my second mission trip.
I'm Naomi, and this is my first mission trip.
I'm AJ, and this is my second mission trip.
Okay. Hold on to the microphone. This being your second mission trip, what was the first one you went on, and then was this one any different?
The first mission trip I went on was Nicaragua, and that was awesome. And Nicaragua and Mexico, I would say it was a lot different, but like similar.
Okay.
Because we had planes flying, which was terrifying. I'm never going on a plane again.
We had planes flying.
Planes flying. It was like Pastor Chris was flying the plane or something. And I don't know. It was like it's just touching because like you bless both parts of the world, and it's different but similar.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And this was your first. What'd you think overall? Thank you very much.
It was amazing. Like, I wish I could just go and do it all again, because it, like, was super long, but it also went by way too fast, but, like, I think it went by so fast because everything that we accomplished in, like, the week, and so it was, like, I don't know. It was great.
Okay. And overall, loved it. Now, what grade are you in?
11th.
11th. Okay. Now, are you wishing that you would have gone to the past trips?
Yeah, but I think it was God's timing, so,
Okay.
well, it was, but,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. Go ahead and pass it on. And this is, I think you said your second
Yeah,
trip.
this is my second
Okay. And the first one was.
Last year's Mexico trip.
Okay.
Last year was different from this time because last time we each got our own room and we like painted rooms and redid them. This time we did a foundation, so it was a lot of like heavy lifting and stuff. And last time we just did like painting and flooring.
Okay. Isn't that funny? She's like, last time we just did painting and flooring. It's like, how many people out here have done painting and flooring before? It's like, yeah, last time we did painting and flooring. This is better because it was heavier work. All right, would you hand that over to Haley and tell us? Same thing. This is your second trip. How was this different from the first trip? Because you went to Mexico last year.
Well, yeah, last year we were kind of stuck in a room painting and stuff, and we didn't really get. We're not stuck in a room.
Yeah.
But like this time we actually got more time with kids because there's VBS, and that's how I got to be stuck in a room with kids.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Okay. Okay. Now tell us briefly about VBS. Like, was it super calm? Was it super crazy? Like.
It was a bit crazy when we first started because they didn't know us or anything, and they didn't really want to listen. But when we kept going, well, duh, would you want to listen like that? Well, anyway, but then as we kept going, they wanted to listen more, and they liked us more, and they got more comfortable with it.
Okay.
And it was real nice, and it went real smooth.
Awesome. Okay, pass that over to Zach there. Zach, this was your first trip, and what grade are you in?
I'm in 12th grade.
That's right, you're a senior. That's right. And what'd you think, just overall, in general?
I thought it was super fun, super exhausting, and super short, unfortunately. Even though it was like, we were there for like 6 days, just went so fast. We were doing training for like the first 3 weeks before.
Yes.
Yeah, and when it hit me on the last night, we were just doing training. It was so fast, and it was a lot of fun. I think God spoke to all of us, and we got a lot of good work done, and we helped a lot of people, and it was a really good experience for me. I wish that I had been on some of the other ones, and I hope I can go on ones that are like not just youth, because now that I'm moving on, graduating, I hope I can go on again.
Okay, awesome. All right. Jazzy, how many have you been on?
Three.
Three of them. Okay, it's your third one. And how was this different from the others? Now, I know you've done Mexico before
And Nicaragua.
and Nicaragua. Okay, so how was this different from the other trips?
So the last year's Mexico trip, we were just painting, and I mean, yeah, just painting.
Okay.
This one we did like cement, and it was just really hard.
Yes.
Yeah, really hard.
We obviously, because we just got back last night, so we didn't have time to get photos and video together. So you'll see all of this hopefully in the next week or two. Have a video done, pictures and things. If you were following along on Instagram, then you saw some of these guys like wheelbarrows full of cement, trying to keep it steady and okay, pour it over here or whatever, and shoveling and picking up rocks and yeah, it was just, I mean, it was all hard work. So pass that over to Joe. Let's see, Joe, how many have you been on?
3.
3 of them. Okay, so what'd you think about this one just compared to the others?
It was different. The other ones were more indoor and not as physical. Remember Nicaragua? I know a lot of the time doing computers, but then I also later on started drywalling the walls in that one room, if you remember.
Yes.
It was a lot more indoors. This one was a lot more outdoors and physical, which was obviously a mental challenge for a lot of us. But I thought that it was good for us at the same time. But yeah, it was fun.
Okay, awesome. Let's go backward a little bit to the training. So we trained for 4 Sunday afternoons. So all of the team members, after being here at church in the morning, they would stick around, and from 1 to 4 we would train. What'd you think about the training, just in general? What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was cool. It was different because we did a lot more like soccer because, we were trying to get as good as we could at soccer. Even though we were...
And why were we practicing soccer?
We were gonna play. We had a game against them. Against the
The Mexicans.
Yeah, it was the Mexicans.
Okay. U.S. versus Mexico is what it was.
Yeah.
In my mind and in my heart, it was U.S. versus Mexico. Come on, USA. And so, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Bob.
Yeah. We got destroyed. Anyways, didn't really matter.
Totally got destroyed. Yeah.
But it was fine. It was fun playing soccer and learning a little bit about it, and I think it made us all want to play more. But yeah, that was probably one of the bigger differences with the training. Was soccer.
Okay. All right. Pass that on over to Jazzy. Jazzy, what'd you think about the training this year? You've already done it a couple of times now. So, what'd you think?
I feel like the training was more like, so last year for Mexico, the training was like, it was kind of like team bonding. Like, I feel like we did a lot more like bonding. Like, we did like skit acting and like we were like throwing each other like the rope. Remember that?
Yes,
across the
I do
tree.
remember
Tegan
people
was
getting
climbing trees. I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild.
This
Yeah.
was like a lot like of like soccer. I feel like that was every single training, and that's all I remember from.
Okay, all you remember is soccer. Oh man, yeah. Because we had scheduled, I had scheduled a game with Andres down there, and he was going to get together a crew. It was like, okay, all the team bonding challenges, and we would do all kinds of different things, throw each other and over ropes and climb trees and stuff. It was like team bonding. Forget that. We're practicing soccer. We gotta go, And but that was some team bonding also. But that's why we were practicing the soccer and kind of change things up on the training. Zach, this was your first time. What'd you think in general about the training?
I thought we were going to be prepared for soccer. We weren't. We did so much soccer, but it was still fun. It was still fun. We got creamed, as Joe said, but it was still fun. It was almost fun being laughed at by the Mexicans. Almost fun. I don't know. But yeah, the training was good. There was one part, Pastor Chris had us pair up with someone we didn't know or didn't know very well, and get up on stage and introduce them and convince the room that they were the greatest person on the team. It was a really cool exercise, actually, and I got to know people better doing that, and I thought it was a really good idea. Like, that's some serious team bonding right there.
Yeah. All right. And Zach was one of the ones that got up, and he was, he seems like he's pretty calm, pretty mellow, pretty, and he got up here and went for it. It was good. It was good stuff. Some growth All right. Haley, what'd you think about, in general, about the training this time?
Training, I feel like the soccer, yeah, was like you said, also team bonding a lot because like we kept doing the game where we only had 3 minutes and we were on a team of how many was on the team again?
Oh, I think there was maybe
It
four
was
or
like
five
four
or
or
something
five,
like that.
and we'd play for a bit, but then we keep rotating, so we got to know that four really well, and then rotate and meet another four, and I feel like it was also a really good form of team bonding.
Okay.
And also, I liked how we had to come up on stage, like Zach said, and introduce someone because it helped us not have stage fright and be more equipped for the Devos as well. Like, it
Okay.
actually made me feel more confident to do mine, and I was sad I didn't get to.
Oh.
But that was real nice next year.
Okay, hold on to that mic, because let me ask you something about the, getting up on stage. Now, you've already done the training before this, but is it uncomfortable? Is the training that we do, is it uncomfortable? I mean, in other words, does it get you out of your comfort zone?
It does. It really does. Because there's some things where you're like, oh, I got this. It's just training. And then you're like, I have to do that. Like, when we had to go on stage first time, I was like, we're doing what? I was so scared.
Okay.
But it helps a lot, and it gets you more comfortable, and then you're not scared anymore.
Okay, awesome. So it was beneficial.
Yes.
All right, very good. Hannah, please tell us about the training this time. Did you think it was different, and what'd you think?
It was different from last time because this time we did have to introduce each other, which was scary because I don't like talking to people. It's scary. Or you get on stage.
As you sit on stage in front of
Yeah,
everybody.
and sitting on stage and talking to people. It's so scary. So he was like, find somebody you don't know. I was like, wait. And I also can't talk to one of my friends and try to do that. That was scary. I don't know. But we did it twice. So when the second time we did it, I was way more comfortable and it felt way better.
Okay.
Yeah. And one time we did a cup game with each other. It was like a team bonding exercise, and it was so funny because we had just stacked cups, but we had like a rubber band around the cup and strings, and we all four of us, because there's four on the team, had a string, and we had to like pull the string, get it around the cup, and stack the cups like that. It was so funny because everybody was like, "You pull harder, no, you pull harder, no." It was really fun.
And yeah, we do those different exercises because I'm watching to see, who's a good leader, like who's going to stay calm and okay, hey, come on, here's what we got to do. And then those that are like losing it, going berserk, screaming at us. And it doesn't mean that they don't get to go. It just helps me decide, okay, who's going to work best. And if we're in Mexico on the mission field, and I go, okay, I need 2 people to do this, and it's like, no, I better not send him with him because he's going to scream and yell and whatever. And so it just helps me. It doesn't mean they don't get to go. Everybody's just learning. It's a process. Right? So, all right, go ahead and pass that on. Now, this was your first time doing the training. What'd you think in general about the training?
I feel like it went by so quick because, like, I honestly didn't know if, like, I was, like, ready because, like, we were, like, doing, like, the screwdrivers, learning to use different tools and everything. And so, like, it went by so fast. So, like, I thought, like, if we went down there and, like, I missed something or I wasn't paying attention, I wouldn't know how to do it. But we were fine. I mean, we did some digging. It wasn't really it helped us, like, know how to use a shovel properly. But, like, compared to what we did out there, it was a lot of more work. So it's kind of like we prepared, but, like, we did a lot more than we thought we would. As far as soccer was really fun to just practice. But I definitely knew that we were going to need more time because we were definitely, we got cooked by them. But it was still really fun. Like, they, the last day, well, like, the last full day, we didn't do it against them versus us. We, like, split it into teams. And so it was some of them on our, some of them on the other team. And so it wasn't as bad, but it was still really fun.
Okay.
And what else? What else did we do the training? Burritos. Oh yeah, that was fun.
What was it?
The burrito sale.
The burrito sale.
Yeah.
And what time did you have to get here in the morning? Do you remember?
5, but wake up like at 4.
Okay. So please tell us. You just said that was fun, and then you said we had to be here at 5. So how are the two? How can that be fun being here at 5?
Because I don't know. Like, I don't really have a choice. I'm like, might as well enjoy it.
Okay, but you were here with the whole team with your friends.
Yeah, so it was still fun, even though it was like, I mean, whatever.
Okay.
It's the weekend, so I'm off school.
And that was like the very first thing. That was the very first day of training. Was like, okay, I need you to be here at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Be ready to serve all morning. then you need to get into service. So you're here for all 3 services during the morning, and then we're going to stay here till 4 to train afterward. And so it's a good long day, which we found out was beneficial because down in Mexico, there are no short days, man. It's like we're up, let's rock, let's go all day long, bam, 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 one thing after another. And so, yeah. Would you do it again?
The getting up early?
Any of it, the training,
Yeah.
any of it. Okay.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay, good. Pass that on to Jax over there. Sir, tell us, you've done the training before, but what'd you think about training this time around?
Excuse me. I thought it was way shorter because the first mission trip I went on was Nicaragua for like 2 months or so, and we only had like 3 weeks of actual official training, and we had 1 week where we practiced at a park, and yeah, it was fun, but like it was really like it made you think like, is this enough? Like, we sure we're gonna play enough soccer to get good and beat them?
No.
Which we didn't. It was 15-2, but
Who scored the 2?
me and Caleb.
Come on, let's go.
Correction, it was 22-2.
Thanks, Haley.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah. Oh, was it Anna? Was it Anna did? Oh, okay.
It's both of them.
Yeah. Both of them.
And then waking up at 5 on the first one was like I say, it was sort of like an extra training because we had to wake up early anyways. Like, we woke up at 5 every morning.
Yes.
Went to bed at like midnight, sometimes 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Sometimes not at all because Mr. Rand, David, and Elijah snore.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. Snoring is manly. Okay, and so if you snore, all of you young guys in here, if you don't snore yet, you'll get there one of these days, man. And it will be a total blessing to your wife. Okay, she'll love it. Okay. The trip itself, would you share a spiritual highlight with us? Spiritual highlight, and I'll ask the rest of the team the same question. A spiritual highlight might have been from the Devos, or maybe it was worship or church. Maybe it was Pastor Chris's study on Thursday night. It was like life-changing. Anyways, go ahead.
That Thursday one put me to sleep.
You were not the only one. Go ahead.
I would say something that touched me spiritually. Probably just, well, it was during work, I'd say. Like, we would be up there, and I think it was me, Mr. Rand, Nathan, David, and the other adults, and we were just digging, and we were all getting tired, and then we started talking about like singing and worship, and like they were playing music on their phones, and we were just worshiping, and it hit me because like we're out here digging while we're worshiping, and like it was like an actual worship session. It was really awesome. It was really cool because like it hits you while you're digging. You're trying not to cry and get the dirt all muddy because you need to dig it up. And it was just really touching because you just see everyone else out here just preaching, and there's a lot of devos,
Yes.
official devos, and a lot of unofficial devos, which is like really cool because it just shows who God touched and how much we love and care about each other.
Okay, awesome. Now, you mentioned the worship out at the actual dig site as we were working. Do you feel like that worship was way better than Matt's worship session here? So you feel like that? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, go ahead and pass that. Don't answer that. Matt's is always, man, Matt's is the best, man. That's the man. Okay, a spiritual highlight. What was the highlight stuck out to you?
Well, just seeing everyone like work and like kind of be in the same, well, we all were in the same mindset. It was really great because everyone like, I didn't hear really anyone complaining about like how hard it was. I know some people were like kind of getting sick and stuff, and like backs were hurting. Like my back was hurting really bad, but it just like it showed me just how powerful God is. Like through everything, everyone was praying, and like when it was like super hard or we felt like we couldn't keep going, like God just like pushed us to like kind of just like finish it. And so it was just really great because like God was really working while we were down there. And like you don't think, not saying that God couldn't use any of us, but just like the team that went down there, like God used all of them like he used all of us like so just differently in different spots throughout the entire trip. And he did so much work with like everyone that was there, and like you wouldn't think, like, you know, sometimes like, but it was just great to see. And like everyone just in the same mindset and just committed, and everyone like really encouraging each other and lifting each other up. And you get so caught up in like serving and stuff that you forget to like they kept telling us to like drink water and stuff and take breaks. And like before you know it, we go down there, we would like eat breakfast like around 8 and then go down there, and then we would come back for lunch. But before you know it, like the time, like 3 hours had passed or 2 hours had passed, and like you're like, oh, I haven't been drinking water, like let me go in, you know. But you just get caught up in like serving and like wanting to finish because you're just like, everyone was super committed, and it was super encouraging, the environment. So it was like,
Okay,
yeah, it was great.
excellent. All right, Hannah, same question. Spiritual highlight from the week. What do you think?
I think it was just watching everybody work because it was just so encouraging, and watching everyone, they just kept going and going and going and doing so much. And every time I was like, guys, you need a break, I'll switch in for you. And they're like, no, I want to keep going. And it was just so like encouraging too. And I was just thinking about it because at one point we were pulling weeds and stuff, and I was thinking about it. I was like, at home usually I'm like, oh no, I don't want to pull weeds, weeds. But then we were out there and I was so happy to be pulling weeds. I was like, this is so fun, I want to keep doing it. And it got me to be like, oh, now when I get home I want to keep pulling weeds, I want to keep
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know what would make it even more fun is invite the whole team over to do it with you, and then play some music, and it'll be so much fun for everybody. Yeah. All right, Haley, spiritual highlight from the week. What do you think?
Seeing how like you'll be working on the site, everyone will just keep going like, I want to do it, I want to keep going. And just realize like at home nobody wants to do it, but when like they're doing it for God, they want to do it. And then them remembering and be like, I have the same mindset, so when I want to go home, I remember to do it for God. And I like when everyone realized that on the way home and all clicked, and they're like, I want to keep doing stuff for God, even if it's at home, I want to keep doing it for God.
Yes.
But also with VBS and seeing how God worked through the kids and stuff, because dude, they memorized that verse so fast. Every single day they'd repeat it and they'd have it memorized. And even when the kids Hector, he would just keep repeating it for fun. And I was like, dude, they have it memorized, they're just going, they like sitting and learning about God, and they're just so passionate about it, and they're so young.
Okay.
It was so nice.
What an incredible thought that you go down for a week, you know, and you get to know these kids over the week. But you know, this little boy Hector, he's, you know, I'm sure he wasn't the only one, but he's just repeating the word over and over and over, the verse, and now it's in there, right? And we know that God's word does not return void. That means when you share God's word with somebody, it has an effect. It may be a very small effect. You may not see the effect, but God's using his word. It does not return void. In other words, God's word doesn't go out and then just come back empty. It always has an effect. And Haley and the rest of the team, and those that were in VBS specifically, you know, getting the kids to memorize these verses, now it's in there. And who knows what's going to happen in Hector's life, but he'll always have God's word in his heart. And he can, you know, if he strays, he can always come back to that. It'll always be there to be a good thing. So, good. All right, Zach, spiritual highlight from the week. What do you got?
I love what everyone's been saying about the work and how hard everybody worked. Like, and like Naomi was talking about our backs. Like, I'm trying to keep a good posture up here. There's still remnants of that work in there. You know, it's like, but I liked going to the church service in Mexico at Calvary Chapel San Vicente. It was a really eye-opening new perspective of how, you know, we have a pretty big church here. We're very blessed with all the resources we have. And, you know, we were at this other church that is not as fortunate as we are, and still seeing the same fire for the Lord and the Holy Spirit at work there. And, you know, a message that was in 2 languages at once. That's crazy. And the worship that was in Spanish, and they had 3 people up there on worship, and a bunch of folding chairs and concrete floors, and, you know, the dust in the air. We could all smell it, and but it's the same spirit. And that was just a really amazing spiritual experience to be at that church and be in such a different environment and have the exact same Jesus there with us.
That's awesome. Awesome. Jazzy, spiritual highlight from the week?
My spiritual highlight was, I think it was Tuesday.
It's all blur.
I don't know, but I remember we had to get up early and just get straight to work, and everybody was just so chatty. Like, everybody kept trying to talk to me. Everybody was so happy, and I was like, just dead. I was like hurting, and everybody was like, "Oh, hi," trying to make conversation. I was like, no. And so I was like, you know what? I need to fix my attitude. So I remember we got to the ranch where we were building the foundation, and then I stayed in the truck to pray, take a few minutes to pray. And I remember as soon as I was done, I got out, we got to work, and I was like, I wouldn't stop talking. I couldn't shut up. I was like, I was in a way better mood. I was just, yeah.
Okay. Jazzy was the first one to share her Devo down there. Devotion. If you don't know what a Devo is, a devotional, it means like a short Bible study, like a 10-minute Bible study. And compassion, contact, care, cost. I was taking notes, man, because it was so it was good. It was fire. And I was like, man, let me get these down, because I may need to use these in the future. And so I'm always still in people's studies. And so she did it. She was the very first one. And why were you the first one?
I wore my pajama pants outside the rooms.
It was one of the rules on the trip, on camps and on mission trips, is no pajamas outside of the room. Just because sometimes people have, most of the time they're fine, but sometimes they're skimpy, pajamas. And so it's always like, no pajamas, save those for your Walmart trip. But Jazzy, it was at night, and she showed up. She had gone to the room already. She showed up in her pajamas, and they were fine, She's got her pajamas on. She's ready to relax or whatever. And then I was like, I was messing around. Like, you got pajamas? Oh, okay. And then her dad, Frank, in the back was like, I think she should be the first one to do her Devo. I said, that's a great idea. I think the Lord's leading right now. And she did it, but she set the bar, man, and it was good stuff. We'll tell you some more about the Devos in just a minute, but let's have Joe share spiritual highlight from the week, Joe.
Probably, I recognize something that I didn't really recognize before, but the grandness of God and His creation. Down there, I've always thought of Mexico. Like, when I think of Mexico, I think of, like, desert. But when we got there and we were at the ranch just working, and I know, I think we were also in the truck getting dirt. I just like look around and it's just like so beautiful. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, how much work that God has put into this earth, and just to make it all for us. It was crazy to think that, and just like His power that He also has to just allow us to be able to keep on working during the week, because I was like dead after every day, and I was like, dude, can I still do this? But I was able to still do it, and it was cool.
That is really, really awesome. You definitely take after your mom. So, what the Devos? I know that you did share a Devo. What did you think about that process of having to prepare that and then present that?
Personally, I love doing it. I think it's really fun. Just, I guess, learning about the Bible and then trying to comprehend it, understand it, and then put it into a message and then sharing it out. Because personally, I like public speaking. I know that's that's something a lot of people don't like, but I like sharing out what I have to think, and just like my opinion on things. So I think it was just like a great opportunity for not only me, but for others to be able to share what's on their mind and to get different perspectives about things. But yeah.
Okay. Jazzy, what did you think about the Devo process?
When you first hear, like, oh, you have to prepare a 10-minute Devo, it's like a lot of pressure, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do good. I never did a Devo before. But it's actually really fun. Like, once you start, like, getting it together and it's all ready, and then once you get picked to do Devo and then you start sharing it, I love it so much.
Okay.
You get comments and stuff on it. I think it's good.
And how do you get picked to do the Devo? Is it just Pastor Chris's favorites, or what is it?
No, so
Pajama pants, or what's the spiritual process?
so whoever's picked first, which was me, then I would pick somebody, and then that person picks somebody. So, yeah,
Okay.
no favorites here.
No favorites. That's right. Zach, what'd you think about the Devo process, preparing it all?
Preparing my Devo, I was using a lot of content from like my own journaling, my own Bible classes. That was like that Devo that I didn't get to share, unfortunately, was like probably 2 years in the making because there was so much content from like over the course of my life, and now I have a lot of very Christian bitterness that I didn't get to serve it. Very Christian, no worries. But yeah, it was probably good for me that I had to prepare it. We didn't have enough time for everybody to give their devotional, and I was blessed by the ones that did get out to us, and I think it was a good way to start and end the day, even though we were like dead in the morning, like half awake at 6 a.m., and then we had to go and do devotional at 7, and then we had like 10 or 11 we would do the next devotion at night, and we would just be dead from the work, but we would sit there and some of us be like but then it really was a good time because I think our hearts were open. Everybody's hearts were open to what God had to say.
Okay, awesome. Pass that over to Haley, and I'll just mention that some of the students didn't get to. There just wasn't enough time to have everybody, Devos, or to have everybody go through their Devo. But the benefit of that is that now, at some point, I believe Zach and the others that didn't get. I think Haley said she didn't get to share hers, but now you've got this Devo already prepared. And if you end up going with me on another trip, well, there's a good chance that you'll get to share it. Or if you go on, if you're going to graduate and you go with Pastor Todd on some mission trips, there's a good chance that you're going to get to share that. So, now you've got that. It's actually something that I learned early on as a pastor, or just being in ministry, actually, not even being a pastor, just being in ministry. A good friend of mine named John used to tell me to just have a hip or back pocket Bible study. And that means you just have a Bible study that's prepared, and you just never know when you're going to use it. And things come up, and hey, can you share? And in fact, I was asked to share on Thursday night down in Mexico, and I was practicing a sermon that I had done already in Spanish. I do not speak Spanish, but I had a sermon in Spanish that I've already shared. I had it from Nicaragua last year. And then Pastor Mark, or his nickname is Scooter, told me, no, I'm gonna have you do it in English, and then I'll translate for you in Spanish, because there were a lot of English speakers in church that night. And so then it was like, all right, drop back 10 yards and punt. But what I had to do was I went back and got one of my studies that actually you guys have already heard, and then I reused that. So one of those back pocket Bible studies, So now you've got that. You got that, and you're ready to, got that in your arsenal, and you're ready to serve. So what do you think about the Devo process?
It's so much fun to do, honestly. I mean, going up on stage and the thought of it is scary, but still preparing it and getting it ready is fun. Because I really like just taking things that God has really spoke to you and put on your heart and using it. Because, like, mine was on something that's been, like, I've thought about for a while. And I was like, dude, I finally get to, like, share how the words have been moving me. And I like that a lot.
Okay. And, again, hopefully at some point you'll get to share that. And so, yeah.
I know, hopefully. I actually really want to.
Okay. Maybe can you do service next Sunday? No, I'm just kidding. We're going to have Haley teach next Sunday. So, Hannah, what did you think about that, the whole process?
The process, for me, it was kind of like stressful because I had no idea what to do it on. I had no idea. I was like, uh-oh. So I asked my mom. I was like, give me a topic, and she did. And I was like, okay. And I worked off of it so well. And after I started doing it more, I was like, whoa, this is actually really speaking to me what I feel. And I was so excited about it. I was like, that was so awesome.
Okay, and it's great to hear you say that, because that's part of it also, is in in me leading the group, what am I doing? Why am I taking students to, high school students down to Mexico? Okay, so first of all, that's insane. Okay, who does that? And people will tell me every year, it's like, you're taking a group of high school students to Mexico? Yeah, I've been doing it for a lot of years. That's crazy. They just look at me like, that's crazy. Yeah, it is, actually, but the fruit of it, the benefits, all of this stuff happens, and now we have several of your fellow students, people your age, who are preparing Bible studies with alliterations, which is super godly. Okay, you got to have alliterations in your Bible study to make it like primo. But anyhow, yeah. So now you did that Bible study. Now it's speaking to your heart, and again, maybe you'll get the chance to. I imagine you'll get a chance to share it. So, all right, you did share your Devo. So what'd you think about the whole process, preparing and presenting?
Well, preparing, I had told them down there that like I had another Devo that I was planning on doing, but like I kept praying about it because like I wasn't at like peace with it, and then eventually God like spoke to me, and actually I don't think I said this, but it was like one of the songs I believe Rylan sung, and it was I'll Praise You in the Storm, and like right then and there like I knew that I was supposed to like kind of do it on God's praise and why we should praise Him. And he really spoke to me, so I did it on that, but the whole process was a bit stressful because like I switched it like a week or two before, but I had been working on it like day and night, and God just kept speaking, and I was getting more prepared. But I was so excited to share it because when God like put something on my heart, I like want to share it with everybody. So I really wanted to go, and like I didn't even know when I was gonna go. That's like kind of like the scary part. Like you feel like you're not prepared, but I feel like God like prepares you. Like you just need to pray, and God like will speak through you. And then it was, I think, Isaiah. They had downtime at the ranch, and so Isaiah got to share with them because there was extra time. And so then Pastor Chris told me that I would be sharing at night, and I had no idea I was supposed to be sharing. But it was just funny because like I just had a feeling I'd be going when I didn't know, if that made sense. Like God would do it in a way that I just wouldn't know, so I wouldn't be worried. But I felt very prepared. I was like super excited, and it went really well. But I'm really glad I got to share it.
Okay, yeah, and sometimes I will throw things on people at the last minute because I know that public speaking terrifies most people. I was going to say scares them, terrifies most people. Some of you, if I asked you to come up here and share something, you'd be like, you'd probably just leave. And so sometimes I'll put things, it's like, okay, hey, you're sharing in 5 minutes, If I know that you've already got your study prepared, everybody's been working on it. Hey, you got tonight or whatever. And so to try to save them some of the mental, stress. And but yeah, they all did great. So, all right. What'd you think about the Devo process?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really stress on it too much.
Okay.
I kind of did mine last minute, because I was still like thinking about like what am I gonna do, and then it was the Q&A day when we were doing Q&A up here with Canyon, and I was sitting up here with my friend, and it just hit me. I was like, whoa, I'm gonna do this. So I'm sorry, but I was not paying attention the whole time. I was
so strange. He always pays attention. Yeah.
My grades say I pay attention. I was sitting here, and I was just thinking, and you guys brought up Genesis 1:1, and I just read the book, and then there was a part where I was like talking about creating man in God's own image, and I was like, that's perfect. And you guys just kept going, and kept giving me books and books upon books upon books. And I just kept taking and taking and taking, and I was recycling your Devo basically into my own Devo, which helped a lot. And to backpack off what Naomi was saying, when you're chosen to do Devo, it's really stressful. You feel like you just got hit by a bus or something. 'Cause I was sitting there. And I was looking Jazzy dead in the eyes, because like I wanted to know that I was ready, so when she wouldn't pick me, and then she picked me anyways, and I was like, dang it. So,
Man,
yeah.
the mic. Did you notice that he was like?
Yeah, you're just making intense eye
Okay, and so did you think, oh, he wants to do this?
Yeah,
So-
it's like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's like, man, let me do it. Okay, good. So, yeah, your Jedi mind tricks don't work, man. So you got to try something new next time. Everybody's devos, man. I got to tell you how impressed I was. I was taking notes on all of them, and it was just, it was incredible. I was thinking throughout the week about. I shared this with the team. A while back, I listened to this well-known pastor from LA, from an LA church. And in listening to his message, it was a Sunday morning message. And he had some Bible verses in there, and he was telling these bizarre stories about being in Africa on this mission trip, and he was at some ceremony, and he laid down in the dirt and was like doing dirt angels or something, and it was all this odd stuff, and it was like, I was like listening, like, dude, like, what are you even talking about? You know, you're wondering, like, why were you listening? Because this is a well-known pastor, and I wanted to hear, like, what is this guy well known for? And I guess storytelling, I suppose. But I kept thinking about him, and then thinking about our group, and it's like every single person, every single student that shared God's word. It's like spot on, man. Back to the word. There were no stories, grand stories of I did this or I did that. It was like, let's go to the word. And just one after another, after another, after another was like boom, 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 boom. And like I said, several of them had alliterations, which, did I mention, are so godly. Okay. But they just knocked it out of the park. They really did. And so I was like a proud dad all week, like, yeah, there's my kids, teaching these Bible studies. It was good stuff. Share with us the funniest thing that you experienced over the week. I know there's lots. Try to pick one.
That's a hard one. I would say when we were. I know this. We were digging digging shovels. We were digging dirt on the back of a truck, and like we had Nemi, the pastor's son, and his real name's Nehemiah. We just call him Nemi, and he was digging with us, and we were singing a bunch of songs, and he tells me, he's like, "Do you really like love songs or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I sing them all the time." And then and he says, "Well, I really think that's really cool." And I was like, "Yeah." And then Caleb comes up and he starts talking about Border Patrol for some reason. And then
Like he was hiding from them?
yeah,
or
like
what
he was
was
hiding from Border Patrol. He's
Yeah.
like, "I'm not hiding from Border Patrol. They're gonna catch me." And then we were just sitting there, and then we started talking about music, and I said, "Let's make a boy band." And so we called it Love Patrol because it's a tough name, and so we're on the way back, and I'm writing the first verse of the song, and I'm like texting Nathan, like, "Dude, what do you want this song to be about?" And he says, "I don't know, just write something." And so that's what I'm doing. And after the first verse, I passed out on the bus or on the van.
Yep.
And I was writing, and I tried to wake up and then keep writing, but then I'm like, "No, dude, I'm going back to bed." So yeah, I said that was probably the funniest part of the trip, just making boy bands.
Okay, boy bands, Love Patrol, Christian boy bands, Love Patrol. So, funniest thing that you experienced this week?
Jeez, I don't even. I know there were so many. I just can't. I don't know anything specific.
Can't pinpoint one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we were laughing. Me, Jazzy, Elijah, Alex. It was at dinner. And I don't even know what was happening. I think we all were just really tired and delusional. It was like the end of the day.
Yes.
And they were both making fun of me, calling me schizophrenic, whatever. I'm not sure why. But we were just sitting there laughing. We all were like crying, like from laughing. And I have a video of Jazzy, if you guys want to see it. She was
We definitely need to see that.
yeah, she was laughing. And then after that, we was like Devo. We went back to go do Devo. This is the same day. I had picked Elijah to do a Devo, and when I had looked back at him, like his face just looked complete. Like I don't know if it was like a coincidence or what, but I just thought it was so funny to me. And usually when it's late at night, I just am laughing at everything because I'm just like tired. But I picked him to do Devo next, and I looked over at him because he's sitting across from me, and he just looks completely like mad. Like I don't know, like his eyes are red and his face was red, and he just looks so mad. And I just thought it was so funny. And then I don't even know. Were we like making signs at each other or something?
Yeah, you were like throwing gang signs.
No.
Throwing gang signs. Yeah, throwing gang signs.
No. I don't know what I was doing. But they were looking at me and I started laughing. And they both look at each other like, oh, here she goes laughing again for nothing. But it was because I was laughing at Elijah because he looked mad that I picked him. And I just thought it was like funny because but I don't think that's why he was like, I think he was just like sunburned or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, tired. His eyes were
Yeah,
red.
Yeah.
But, and then I started laughing so hard and then they were like, pointed it out and I started crying. Everyone's like, what's going on right now? It was bad.
I'm having a moment. All right. Hannah, funniest thing that you experienced over the week?
My mom's driving. Saying as she leaves. As she leaves. Okay, so it was so like the roads were so bumpy and she'd go fast over it. So we none of us were wearing seatbelts, so we all just kept
What? I did not know this. Anyway, go ahead. Keep
we all
talking.
just
Share.
kept, like, so we all were just laughing about it, and every time we hit a bump, we all like almost died.
Okay.
It's crazy.
And I have video of Emily, the van that she was driving, getting pulled out of the mud because she got stuck in the mud. Stuck in the mud. All right. All right. You want to? Okay. So Haley, funniest thing that you experienced over the week?
I can't pick one. There were so many actually, but I think a lot the car rides mostly because of my mom and Zach together are so funny. It's so funny, and then put AJ in the mix, and oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then on the way back too, because then we had David and Nathan and Alex, and then that's really funny too. Like they're all they can just keep saying things, and it's so funny. See, he knows. I can't tell all the car rides I can't even remember some of the things they're saying, but it was just so funny. We were all like dying, laughing, like red faced. Like I remember I snorted so loud, and Joaquin came from you. He's like, "Why'd you snort like that?" And it was just so funny.
Some car comedy show. Sounds like a new thing. We could probably do that. Yeah, market that. So, all right. Zach, funniest thing that you experienced over the week?
I love how AJ started talking about Caleb behind his back just now because I'm going to do that too because he's not here.
Oh.
Caleb is one of the funniest guys we have there for sure. And he was like, we were in the van going back. It was like pitch dark. We were going back from somewhere. I don't know. And yeah, we don't wear seatbelts, okay? Yeah, don't judge us. Don't condemn us.
I'm judging. Go ahead.
And
Actually, come to think of it, people in my van, I don't know if they put seatbelts on either. They probably do.
No, I was sitting like right next to you in the passenger seat, no seatbelt. You didn't even notice, I guess.
Go on with your story.
So Kayla was like, okay, this next bump, I'm gonna surf it, guys. I'm gonna surf this bump. I'm gonna surf this bump. And he stands up, like in the second he stands up, we hit this massive bump, and his head just goes flying directly into the side of the seat. Bang! So slapstick comedy in the car.
Yes. Yeah.
Not just the funny people talking, but like the amount of injuries we got was hilarious. Like at the end of the trip, a lot of the guys were like looking around, hey, look at this bruise I got. Look at this bruise! Look at this bruise! Oh, it's massive.
And Caleb's only got one volume level. It's just loud. Yeah. It's like, dude. So, all right. Funniest thing you experienced?
I think the funniest thing was when me and Ryan Salvo, we had to go get rocks, and there's just the two of us. And so we're walking down to where the rocks are, and then there's like a bunch of cows, right? And I'm like talking to Ryan, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a cow run. Like, I was like, can cows even run? And so I'm just going on, and he's like telling me, he's like, yeah, cows can run. I'm like, I don't believe it. Like, I've never seen that before. And so I'm like picking rocks, and then I pick up this boulder basically, and there's like a family of cockroaches, and I scream so loud, and all the cows, it was me. It was me. It was me, guys.
Oh all the cows. There's video of actually Emily chasing cows.
Yeah.
So that was you.
It was me.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep Jazzy away from the cows.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Joe, last one, man. What was the funniest thing you experienced during the week?
For sure the whole thing that happened at the table with Naomi. Dude, I was sitting there, I think me and Nevaeh were also witnesses of this. Dude, I don't know what was wrong with Naomi.
Okay.
And like Elijah and Jazzy just kept on making fun of her for just like staring at the wall for no reason.
Talking to invisible cameras.
Okay.
Dude.
Interesting. Yeah.
Dude, it was really funny. Like,
Okay. So, schizophrenic. You were saying you mentioned you. I didn't. I'm just saying what you mentioned. Schizophrenic. Talking to cameras. Yeah. So, listen. We're just about done here. I'm going to pray in just a second so you get out of here because I know the service is over in the sanctuary. Again, third service will have a different crew and they'll be sharing different things. But don't miss out when these things come up. Get in there and join up. And yeah, you get pushed out of your comfort zone. But obviously, they're all saying, hey, some of them have come back for more. They loved the abuse the first time and they came back for more. And the ones that have gone, this is their first time, they're saying, yeah, I'd do it again. And so there's growth. You know, we get pushed out of our comfort zone and there's growth there that the Lord does. And so, don't miss out. All right, so let me pray. Father, thank you so much for today.